Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Joe's Computer Museum. I'm Joe Strohsnyder of Joe's Computer Museum. Let's say hello to a whole bunch of people in the chat. We got Tom Barber, and Chris, and Frank, and Everything is Broken Garage, and Francois, and Hadland, and Retro Fox, and Frodo Jedi, and Dave's Vintage Apple Tack, and Cat's here. Hi, Cat. Beata Graf of Dalagan, I apologize for mispronouncing your name. Gut Bomb is here. Garth, we got Sloopy, Steve of Mac 84, Kibbs with Retro, scrolling, and probably some other people I have missed. Thank you all for stopping by tonight. Super awesome to have you all here. I'd also like to thank my wonderful guests who are going to be joining me in the stream tonight and providing color commentary while I sit here and solder doodles. We've got Javier Rivera of Adventures in Retro Computing. We have Adam of Adam's Apples, and right down there we have Zodium of Zodium Retro, who got a freaking Kanga.
Yeah, that's all I've heard ever since I got this thing. Like, how you lucky bastard.
Yes. But cool stuff. We got cool stuff going on. Ooh, and thanks, Tim Cross, for the super sticker. I've got a new animation for that. Love it. Appreciate that. Little housekeeping before we get started. Remember, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. I do these live streams once every couple of weeks. I do an actual video once every 4 to 6 months. I don't do those a lot because I'm busy doing things like building BlueSCSIs all the time. But I do those, and I do. I said do. I do shorts from time to time, but it's mostly streams, hanging out, and showing people how to do really cool things with their old computers. Remember to hit the like button. That tells YouTube, hey, channel's awesome. We like content. Do the thing. And yeah, so that is all the doodle. So, one other piece of housekeeping I want to get out there is the Mac Effects keyboard. Apple IIc keyboards are out. They're out there in the wild. Do you have one? Let us know how it's working. There were some manufacturing glitches that we found out after they went out. Not our fault, not Mark's fault, not Javier's fault, not Plumman's fault, not anybody's fault. They just screwed up. They broke key switches. But apparently if you just clean the key switch with some deoxit and hit it, it fixes it. I don't know. They were manufacturing them at the bottom of a coal mine. I don't
I think so, yeah.
Joe, I got 2 here I haven't opened yet. I'll try them here soon.
Cool. Awesome. Electronically, everything's perfectly fine with them, with the exception of one minor little glitch that is this guy's fault. One key is not connected to the key matrix because I'm a freaking idiot. So if you got one of those keyboards and you're apt to be able to fix your own keyboard, I can tell you exactly how to do that. Just get a hold of me and I'll tell you exactly what you need to correct that problem. If not, reach out to Mac Effects. We're working on a process to help people get those fixed if it affects them. It won't affect most people at all because it's a key that's almost never used by anybody, but whatever. So you can blame me personally for that one. So that is news and stuff. So what are we doing tonight? Well, tonight we're going to be building, and by we, I mean me and these other guys if they want to help out. I have Javier here because he's doing related work to this. We're going to be building some BlueSCSI V2s, specifically the new shortboard version. I think if I can get it, of the 25-pin external, the little shorty guy, right? We're going to be doing that. And then also we'll put together a 50-pin internal to show people how to do it. I don't think I've done an instructional kind of show you how to do it type of video for these before. So I figured we would just kind of get together and do the thing. So also at the end of the stream, if we have some time, depending on how long it takes me to put these together and all of that other stuff, we will show you the Wi-Fi capabilities of the new Wi-Fi version of the BlueSCSI. So we'll show you how to do that. Javier also has been doing a lot of really cool work to help us design new cases for the new 25-pin shortboard. He has been working his butt off for the last 3 weeks, making revisions and changes. And there he is. He's working on it right now. My printer just finished. Here, my printer just finished printing a set, and of course it's just a blank print because it's off the it's you can't see the print bed. But it just finished printing a new revision of this, so hopefully we can test that tonight while we're playing. So let's begin. I'm going to start by showing my bench and showing you the bits and pieces that you get with a DB25 version of this. I'm going to do this, guys. Sorry to throw you to the side. You guys can chat, ask questions, and do the thing while we're doing it. So this is what it's going to look like when it's built. It's pretty straightforward, a very simple thing. Yep, 25 pin. The Pico goes on there. What you get in your kit, you're going to get a bare 25 board with all of the surface mount bits and pieces put together on there. Those are already on there for you. You're going to get a you're going to get a Raspberry Pi Pico unit, and depending on which unit you purchase, you're either going to get a non-Wi-Fi or a Wi-Fi. Tom Barger is asking a question. Did Javier design the case for the previous DB25 Pico version? He did. Yes, he did. And he did a really good job on that. You're going to get a 40-pin header, which is used to solder this to the board. You may, depending on which of us you purchase your BlueSCSI from, you may get one of these that already has the header pre-soldered on it. Some of us buy them with the header pre-soldered. Some of us don't. I kind of flop back and forth, so you may or may not. It just depends on what I decide to do. You're going to get your DB25 connector. And what I'm also not showing is you're going to get a few little extra header pins to solder on the tops. There are some extra holes for some debug features that we put on there that we're not really using right now, but we may use at some point in the future. So we usually provide those to you. So it's really pretty straightforward. So let's get started. When you get your board, you're going to have all these little nebadoodles already, these little pieces from the PCB manufacturing process removed. I removed those for you. I just didn't get it done before I got the stream started. So we take all these bits off. All right. And then you get your board. The first step I like to do is I like to take the 40-pin connector and cut it into two pieces, one for each side of the Pico. And the way I do that is I will take the Pico and slot this in there like this. And that's not actually 40 pins. That's too short. Stand by. That's this one. Here we go. Like this. So that I don't have to count. I can just visually see it. And then I will take my cutter doodles and put it right there in between like that and cut it right there. And that way it's cut into two pieces of 20. Okay. Then what you do is take your board, you put these in the board like this so that the long side of the pins are up, not down, up. All right. Just kind of lay them in there like that. Cool. See? And then you put the Pico on top of these pins. If you look carefully, it says right here, USB. I have it backwards. Right there, it says USB. That tells you that this goes in there that direction with the USB to that direction. So we put that on there. Just kind of wiggle it on there real cool-like, and then it's on there. Now that that's on there, you solder a couple pins on the top, then a couple on the bottom to keep it sandwiched together while you do all of the soldering. So this is how we do that. I'm going to switch to my scope. So Adam, what are you working on right now? You're working on an Apple IIc?
Yeah, I was just picking an Apple IIc out of the pile to make sure it works first, and then I'm going to try out those keyboards here.
So this is how I put these together. I will solder one corner from the top so that gravity pulls everything down towards the bench, so there's less likelihood things will be unaligned. So you just solder that pin, and then I will sandwich this. You can see my finger here. I'm just pushing it down to sandwich this together. Then I will reflow that pin to make sure it's all the way down. Then I'll do the opposite corner. Do the exact same process. Sandwich it, melt it, let it solid, and then it'll be all the way down. You turn it around and do the other two on the other ends. Do this corner. Press it down. If I can get it in there, press it down, reflow it. And then this corner, same thing. do that. Press it. All right. Then you can flip this whole thing over, and because these pins are nice, they're actually attached to the Pico. They're not going to the whole assembly isn't going to fly apart and do weird things. It's going to kind of stay in there. You flip this over, and gravity helps hold this down. You still have to push down on it a little bit, but gravity helps keep everything together. And so you do the same thing on the back side. Here, let me get this focused a little bit better. There we go. So you solder the pin. You just press down on it with your finger, reflow it. And that gets it all aligned. Get that gunk off there. There we go. And then, hold on, I got to get my solder. It's 10 feet long and falling off the bench for reasons. Okay, then you do the next corner.
I realized I left my keyboards in another area, so I'll be right back.
Okay, okay. Zodium, what are you working on, buddy?
I am taking the Kanga down to the logic board because I have to. It was having graphical issues, as you could probably see earlier, and I need to reflow the GPU and VRAM again because I thought I did it well enough before, but unfortunately, I was told I didn't use enough heat, so I need to go back and do it again.
Gotcha. Now that all of those corners are soldered, your Pico is perfectly attached to the board and is exactly where it needs to be. So now you just run the pins on both sides, which is really boring, but it is what it is. If you don't do soldering a lot, I'll show you exactly how I do it. Take your iron and put a tiny bit of solder on it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Attach it, put your solder in, take them both out. What you're doing is that tiny bit of solder that's on the end of that gives a good contact patch, a surface patch, to touch both the pin and the pad, which then heats them up so that when you bring the solder to it, it just melts right in and you let go. And you can just, once you get a hang of it, like boom, 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 boom.
Eric.
Hello.
Hi, Eric. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. We got a little bit of echo from you.
Oop.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm using my iPhone as a camera.
I think maybe you're watching somewhere else stream, and that's why you get the echo maybe.
I close that tab.
Echo. Fleece. Anybody know that reference?
Nope.
DuckTales.
All right, let's try that. This is my MacBook speaker or mic.
Hello?
Yeah, look. That's
Nope.
Still.
No. I don't know. I'll just leave and come back.
See you in a minute. So those who are watching who don't know, that's Eric Helgeson. He is the designer, inventor, runner of the BlueSCSI project.
He's the almighty Eric.
He's my boss.
Yeah.
In a way.
He's our boss.
Yeah. So there you go. So those pins are all run. So now we flip it over. We do the top side. And we just run them super fast. As you can tell, I've done this 14 quadrillion times. So I kind of have a process for just getting it done. One thing I also like to do is this stuff here, this blue tack. It's literally that stuff that your teacher used to use to stick things to walls. It's great for holding your board to the bench so that it doesn't slide around. So I have it just over here kind of like stuck
Where do you
down.
get that, Joe?
Where do I get that? I got that Walmart. It's just, you can get it from Walmart or like Blix Art or any place like that. It's an office supply. It's just, it's called Blue Tack.
Blue Tack. Okay.
And that's the logic board.
Yep. And then we just solder all the pins.
15 minutes, not bad. Or 16 minutes, not bad.
But to get the board out?
Yeah,
That's
so
not bad.
the GPU and VRAM are right here, and that's the part that I think needs to be reflowed.
Retro Techie, I use Jello to hold mine. Okay.
And I'm back.
More. Hi, welcome back, Adam.
Figuring out where I stashed the keyboards. If you have a test Apple IIc, you should never put the screws in because it just wastes time.
Yeah.
All right, I got my nifty new keyboard here.
Another piece of wisdom: if you do that often, you're just going to end up stripping out the screw holes anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Ask me how I know.
I will be right back because I have to go to the garage and reflow this now.
Enjoy.
I will leave you with some entertainment as I leave.
Oh my gosh, who's this? Who is this? It's Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Doing?
Hey, Tom.
So we got that
Hey, how's
all
it going?
soldered.
I'm reading my instructions.
And now we go to here.
I'm here for the BlueSCSI tutorial.
Yeah.
Do you need help? Do you need help learning how to do it?
This one,
Oh, the big one. Yes.
big one, big boy.
Yep, we'll do that one next. So the next part of the DB25 is to put the actual DB25 on. It should just pop right in. And this will usually keep itself in place because it has these little board lock tabs that hold it in place. So you just pop that in. And then what I like to do on this, and let me get this focused for you, is I like to solder the pins at the far ends like this to hold it down. Then I will double check. You can't really see it's out of focus, but I'll double check to make sure that it's aligned to the board really well.
Yeah.
Like that. I'll make sure that it's all nicely aligned to the board. Focus on the right thing, you stupid camera. Do it. Whatever. You can tell. And then we can solder the rest of the pins.
Yeah.
So after I've got the primary pins soldered, I will solder in the retention clips. I usually just kind of just get the edge of it there. If you want to, you can fill in the whole thing with solder. Basically, you just kind of put the soldering iron on there, leave it on there for a couple seconds to heat up, and then you just dump. You just go, and it eventually fills it.
I like the effects.
Whichever way you want it.
Effects are better.
You like the
How's
what?
this look?
The sound effect.
The sound effects? You want some more sound effects? Here.
I like the color on this new one.
The platinum color?
Yeah.
Yep. Mark went through a lot of iterations to get them to get that stupid color right. Hi, Eric. Welcome back.
Hello. Test.
Yeah, you're sounding good now. Yep.
Good. I'm opening up hundreds of dollars worth of Picos.
Yes. All of the Picos.
Well, I've got dollars worth of Picos.
Dollars. Okay, so let's solder all these pins in. I really do enjoy the new 25 pin BlueSCSI V2. It is smaller and so much faster to solder. There's a lot fewer little extra pins, pin headers to worry about. Can Eric design the next one to include an M1 processor add-on?
No. Sorry.
No.
I mean, we could technically communicate over Wi-Fi via and like do some offloading on your M1 processor.
We want an M1. No, M2.
Yeah, well, M3 Ultra Pro.
Yeah, I figured out how to hook up a BlueSCSI to my M1.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right, Adam. You did like all this wackadoodle stuff, didn't you?
Yeah,
like
it was
it's a firewire to SCSI to monitor to dock BS or something like that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Now we put the 4-pin optional header on. Again, this is optional. We're not really using any of these settings yet.
Let's see what this does.
Here, I'm refocusing my camera. Stand by. There we go.
Yeah.
So the way
I built a couple of options for those headers, but I haven't pushed anything up yet.
Yeah.
One of them is like having image sets, so you could have like 4 different image sets. So you put it in one configuration for your Mac Plus, and one configuration for your Power Mac, and one configuration for whatever else.
Yep.
My keyboard works.
Here's a trick that I use to solder pins to hold it in. I use that blue tack to actually just hold the pins in place. And then you don't have to use tape, and it just conforms to the space. And then you flip it over. And you can, it may be hard for you to see, but you can tell those pins are kind of offset to one side a little bit. They're not quite straight. And so you can just fiddle with it on the back here to get it straight. Like that. So now they're straight. Now, what I'll do is I will just solder one pin to keep it in place, then get the blue tack out of the way. And then after the blue tack is out of the way, what you can do is you can kind of bend it back and forth a little bit to get it aligned perfectly, like that, because you only have one pin on there. What's Tom showing?
Is this the BlueSCSI?
Yes.
No, it's IE.
Oh.
What?
Let's go. And so then we'll solder those on.
Well, this is interesting. I got one of every kind, and the Pico H and the Pico WH kind of look different. They have like the debug ports are like in different places.
Yeah, that's weird. Here, let's show everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, they are a little bit different, aren't they?
Ooh,
Just
rainbows.
why they would be, I don't know.
I guess there's not enough room up here to route the.
But like the boards, it's the same. They're identical. I don't get it. Yeah, weird.
But they DigiKey just sent me them in a bag. Like, kind of weird.
Did you just say bag like a Northwestern or Northeasterner? Bag.
Bag, yeah.
Bag.
Home.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm from the Northeast, and I don't think people
And so
act weird.
we'll do this.
My mom's from Boston. She says bag.
There you go. It's all built. That's all there is to it. Look how easy that is. Now, when you get one of these kits, or of course, if you get it assembled, the Pico will be already programmed for you, so you don't have to worry about programming. But I will be showing programming here in a little bit because these are blank, and I want to show how that's done. It's insanely simple. You plug it in, you do a copy and paste, and it's programmed. It's super duper simple. That
So
one's built.
I found an issue.
An issue? Oh no, what's the issue? With the keyboard?
Yeah. If I type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 dash equals, I don't get a 5, or I don't get a 6 or an 8 or a 0.
Yes. That was part of that issue. They manufactured those things in the bottom of a diamond mine or something. They contaminated the crap out of all of the key switches.
Okay.
The solution is cleaning the key switches.
Okay.
They jacked up the whole order, basically.
Boo.
I
So
don't think we've had
deoxit?
to have anybody replace key switches yet. If it's just you spray it, you tap the crap out of it, and it ungums it.
And you said there's a key that may not work?
The tilde key in the lower left corner is almost guaranteed not to work because someone called Joe Strohsnyder, when he was redesigning the keyboard for the LEDs, accidentally deleted the trace and never put it back. And then when he was doing testing, he didn't test that key switch like an idiot.
I cannot believe that. I refuse to believe that.
But we're working on finding ways to get that fixed for everybody free of charge, so don't worry about it.
So you want
It's a
me
really
to,
insanely easy fix. It's one baud wire from here to hit there, and it's done.
So some deoxit in these other switches, you think will?
100%.
The oxide and click the bejesus out of them.
Yep. Just and it cleans whatever, I don't know, whatever the tears of small Chinese children. I don't know what got into this. I don't know. So we're going to build the 50 pin, also known as the internal, and we do it almost exactly the same way. So we get our 40 pin whip-to-do, and we cut this. Just like that.
I feel like I'm playing California games. I got
It's
the
good
6, which
exercise for
sort
you.
of work, but it's not reliable. How many times do I have to press it? Like a million?
Just a million.
A lot.
Teacher, I have a question.
What?
Does it matter, like the headers, does it matter if the long legs go up or down?
The long legs should go up. It
Okay.
technically speaking, for most people, it probably won't matter. But we have designed the 3D cases so that the long legs go up. So if you put them down, you're going to have a problem with them clearing the bottom sides of the cases and the trays and things that the 3D that print you get with these. And then you'll have to go by and cut them off with your cutters, and those are thick, and you're going to dull your cutters and be grumpy. So we suggest just put the long legs up and then don't worry about it.
Don't be grumpy.
Yeah, don't be grumpy. So here's how I like to do this for the 50 pin. Now I put those in like I did on the 25, but I also like to put the 50 pin header in because it acts as, I don't know, a shelf, a stand for when you flip this over to solder the back side, so that you don't have to like put any supports or anything under this end. If you don't do this, then you have to put a little chunk of blue tack here to hold the board up so it stays flat against your bench while you work. So this process is basically identical to the 25.
I put it in like this, right?
What's that?
I put it on like this.
Disinformation! Stop confusing my viewers. And I'm disentangling my solder. So here, I'll show you what my solder looks like right now. This is what my solder looks like because at Kansas Fest, my soldering iron accidentally slipped off of its base and into my solder and melted like 8 layers. And so now it's a Medusa. So it's just this mess I have to detangle all the time.
I can't get the 0 or the 8 to work.
Paraphrasing Finding Nemo. Just keep trying. Just keep trying.
Oh.
Yeah, the 6 worked for a minute, and now it doesn't work yet again either.
I have no other advice for you at the moment regarding that.
Okay.
Mark is committed to making sure everybody's keyboard works. That's what I'll say in the short term. It may take a while for him to get to everyone and get everybody taken care of, only because of his current health situation, which is just delaying everything right now.
For me, if it just takes a few key switches, that's fine. I know that won't work for everybody, but I'm good with that as a solution if that's what I have to do.
Yeah, if anything, he will do that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, folks who know how to fix it themselves, I'm sure we can be like, here's some extra key switches. There you go. Replace your key switches. Those who don't know how to fix it themselves, like I said, he is mulling over a way to do that, possibly by enlisting the help of several community members to split that work amongst all of us so that we can get it done for people.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see your tilde key.
Yeah, it's like totally missing a trace. It's just not even there.
Yeah.
It's an insanely easy fix. You just attach it to the left bracket key because that's the same part of the matrix and it solves it.
Okay. What's this little header for on the bottom?
Which one? There's 2 of them.
There's a 6-pin.
That's the programming header for the microcontroller firmware.
Oh, okay.
So now we do the 50 pin on the bottom. We've got the Pico solder down, so it's not going to go anywhere. Now we can do the 50 pin, and we basically do the same thing. You solder a corner, and make sure you press down on it so it gets in place. Solder another corner. Hold on, I got to get it on camera. Press down on it, make sure it's down in place. Then you take it out and you look at it and you make sure it's all nice and pretty and aligned.
Pretty.
You know, I haven't done like 800 of these or anything.
Adam.
Yeah.
There's the cable. Maybe you can see it. So it's pretty easy. Just One
Yeah,
cable
they're
from one place to the other.
Yep. The fix is just one tiny little bodge wire.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I got some. What's that magnetic wire here? I could use it for that.
Yeah, the red enameled wire is perfect for that.
When you said it was a key, no, most people wouldn't use. The first thing I thought it was the tilde because I never use that key.
Yeah, nobody. That's why maybe it was missed.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, nobody uses it, and I didn't even think about it during testing. Like, I didn't even press it.
And nobody tested.
Like, I tested everything else, but apparently I just missed that one when I was testing it. And it was easy. It's easy to miss too because it's in a weird place in the keyboard matrix. It's down in the lower left, but is associated with keys in the upper right corner of the keyboard. So, I reran the wire on the PCB Gerber. So if Mark does another run in the future, it'll be corrected. But it's snaked. It's snaked in, around, through, up, down to get it over to the rest of that matrix. So it doesn't surprise me that I forgot it. What probably happened is I started thinking about it, and then somebody sent me a text message, and I forgot what I was doing. And then I'm like, oh, I finished it. It works. Because that's me. You all know me.
What's funny is on the Apple IIe hardware diagnostics, the one that you have to run off of a firmware card.
Yeah.
On the keyboard test, it will not let you exit until you press Shift and tilde to test both the Shift key, the left Shift key, and that tilde key.
Yeah.
If you can't
And
just
of course,
press
that's
the tilde
not how
key.
I tested it. I tested it by pressing the keys and freaking no basics. So
Oh yeah, I don't have a similar test for the 2C, so that's the same thing I was just doing. I'm trying my other one now.
Cat, I can't sign my email without it.
Jeremy, I don't think there's going to be a Mac Effects keyboard without LEDs at all.
There we go.
Take me out. Yeah, there you go.
I didn't have to be totally full screen there.
If I have to for now, I can borrow some keys from the other keyboard if we can make one that's complete.
Yeah.
The switches are the same between the two, right?
Yep.
Yep. They're basically just Alps compatible switches. The manufacturer we're using is Matthias. They're a Canadian company, and the switches are really high quality. And this is why I was completely baffled when people were reporting key switch issues. The keys in my prototype have been in 3 PCBs. I have removed them and put them into new PCBs 3 times, and they work perfectly. So that's why I'm thinking I don't know. I do not know what contaminants they have in the air or their soldering process or fumes or whatever in that factory that destroy those key switches. I just have no clue.
Yeah, never seen that either.
Now it's green.
Yes. Nice.
Software was designed by Plum Voiceloff of A2 Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
He is working on an example of both AppleSoft and assembly language code to allow you to change the lights on the fly. So you can write your own programs to change the colors of your keyboard as you like.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
And also, maybe you can. He has a software that he did before. That's for it's called LED disc LEDs or something like that.
The disc 2 LED, yes.
That one, you can actually use the software for this keyboard to change the disc LED color.
Yes. He's created a modified version of that also allows you to change the keyboard colors.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mark has that file. I'm not sure if he's gotten to the point to be able to upload it somewhere where people can use it.
But if you go to Claman's website, you can use the old version from...
Yeah, the old version will allow you to change the color of the disc.
Of the disc only, yeah.
And if anybody has one of those keyboards and they really, 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 really want the software to change the backlight colors to whatever colors you want, just yell at me and I can get you. But it's really cool. You can set. He's got it. Plowman's got it set up to where you can individually change the color of every single LED to whatever color you want.
Yep.
So on this one,
it's a little bit tedious, but you can do it.
And they're RGB LEDs, so yeah, there's a lot of colors.
On this one, the L and the quote key
Yep.
do not work.
Yeah, I had issues in several of my keys, and I revived them all.
Just take the tilde key out. It doesn't work anyway.
Let
Okay.
me try putting
There we go.
some deoxide on those two keys. I think the left arrow key is also
Top.
problematic.
I did. It
Bottom?
took more time than it normally does, but it worked.
Okay.
Nice.
Next thing,
Well, like I said,
worst
the worst, I can swap the keycaps.
Yeah.
I mean, the key switches between the two and have one that's all good until we solve the issues.
Nice.
So the next thing we do on the desktop is to solder the Berg header, which is just like everything else. You just kind of put it in there and do the thing. Hi, Rudy!
Okay, let's try that.
So Eric's here. Let me ask the question that everybody's the elephant in the room. When is the Mac the PowerBook version coming out?
What do you mean? We got PowerBook versions.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm behind. Oh, I'm behind the times.
Dude, we've had the PowerBook version out for like months. Where have you been?
Yep,
We've had it out since version 1. Where have you been?
But with Wi-Fi, I'm talking about Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, look at this one.
Oh, there you go.
We just swapped the Pico.
It's just
Yep.
If you, all of us vendors we just ordered the Picos with the Wi-Fi.
Oh.
And all we have to do is update our sites to say, do you want the Wi-Fi or not the Wi-Fi?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have both versions.
I want the Y, but not the Phi.
The Y without the Phi?
Yeah.
I want it all, and I want it now.
I want a Y cable.
When you check out, you just pick the one you want, and that's it. It's like a couple bucks more. It's
imagine
like
a PowerBook with Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
that's all I want. That's it.
It works.
Eric, I am going to ask you a question while we're talking about Wi-Fi. I saw somebody playing with a system extension or a control panel extension that allowed you to actually mess with the Wi-Fi settings from inside the operating system.
Yep.
From inside Mac OS.
Yep. So JCS, he's the guy who did most of the work for almost all the work for the Wi-Fi stuff.
Gotcha.
I actually worked with him quite a bit on the Mac or the BlueSCSI toolbox stuff. So building the 68K apps, and he writes a lot of 68K software. So he has he made a BBS, he made a IRC client, and a whole bunch of stuff. But he made a desk accessory, so they'll work in System 6 and higher. That you can, if you open it up and you can scan for new Wi-Fi access points, enter your password in, and connect. So you can control it all from your Mac.
So basically, your System 6 and System 7 machine will have just Wi-Fi. Just have it.
Exactly.
Just like you expect it to work. That is insanity. I love it.
So yeah, we're trying to have kind of all the BlueSCSI toolbox stuff ready for VCF Midwest. So I've been working on that, updating a whole bunch of stuff. Like CD switching works 100% better. So you'll be able to just click and it'll do all the magic and switch things for you. The setup is much easier. Yeah, everything's just better. So yeah, it's really, I don't know, I like it. BlueSCSI toolboxes and all these like little utilities to interact. I mean, now we have Wi-Fi, so these utilities on your Mac can talk to Wi-Fi, send packets out to your network. So you can think of lots of crazy things. You can send a packet that goes to your M1 Mac that then connects to your 2C somehow and changes the LED colors.
Yeah.
Mesh it all together.
You know what, Eric? I've got a bone to pick with you. I've gone through so much trouble trying to get my old Macs on the internet. I bought like dial-up servers and modems and all this, all this stuff. I bought expensive Ethernet cards, and now you just come out and be like, yeah, this like $40 device can just do Wi-Fi. So
you got a short data port.
Like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dynaport adapters on eBay are gonna be not as expensive anymore.
Joe, I have an idea for this keyboard that's probably not something you can add by firmware, but would have been nice is if the fact that it's completely wired into the floppy disk interface.
Yep.
If there would have been a way to do a key combo to swap drive 1 and 2, that would have been awesome. So that you can boot off an external 5 1/4 and have the internal 5 1/4 act as drive 2.
I'm not sure that would work that way.
Because all it is changing. It's reversing 2 pins on the floppy interface, and since you've got all 20 lines there, it's physically possible.
Yeah, it's not impossible. That would require adding some like flip flops and extra hardware to.
Yeah.
It would require 2 wires, one to come from the logic board up to the keyboard, and then another wire to go back out to the thingadoodle.
Well, all of that is
you have
done
to
inside the
intercept
20-pin
signal,
cable, because the BMOW switcher.
Yeah.
It just internally all it connects to is the 20-pin floppy connector, and then it has a switch. So there's like 2 pins that just on or off. Basically,
I don't believe you. Prove it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, we might. That would have been cool. I don't know if we. I'm not sure if the microcontroller we used could do that because it's very limited on the I/O pins. It has like 8 I/O pins, and we're using like 6 of them.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know what's involved. It's just the thought I just had.
Yeah. Okay. So we got all of those pinadoodles. We've got the Berg header connected, the power, the LED, the back feed, which almost nobody uses, and the terminator pins, the terminator. So now we put jumper doodles on. Stand by. I need to grab those. Those are over here.
Someone asked, Rudy asked if we can trade in our old BlueSCSIs for new ones. And Joe, you did talk about that a little bit. If that would be, we don't have anything officially yet, but I mean, if sellers wanted to do that, they could.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's still a use case too. I mean, not everyone needs Wi-Fi. I mean, if you don't have a Mac and you don't want the utilities, or
Mm-hmm. And it's also not necessary. I don't think a lot of people are going to be clamoring to replace their old unit with this completely new unit. They're just gonna. I mean, a lot of us are buying BlueSCSIs 1 at a time, 2 at a time to put in the old Macs as they got them. That's my experience anyway. From repeat orders I get from people, I'll get an order for one, then a month I'll get another one from the same person, and a month for So I don't see it as being a huge thing. I mean, I'm not personally going to be here. Let me actually talk to the audience. I'm not personally going to be offering that as some sort of like broad solution, like a thing that you can pick on the website and do. For multiple reasons. The primary reason is this: 20 years of experience working in IT hardware. I know the BlueSCSIs are insanely reliable. I have had maybe 4 in the 2 years I've been selling them, and that went bad. And 2 of them were user error. However, if I get back a used device and I send it back out, say I just use it to restock my non Wi-Fi BlueSCSIs, and I send that back out and it fails.
Yeah.
Whose fault is it? Is it mine? Is it the BlueSCSI's fault? Is it the guy previous? And I'm like, you owe me money. Like, how do you work that?
Mm-hmm.
How do we eat that? How do we deal with?
It's a little messy.
I would rather do clean built ones and send them out.
Yeah.
So I'm not big on the whole swap-a-doodling of those.
And honestly, if you can solder and you want to buy, I mean, I sell PCBs for $10, so $10 plus $6 for a Wi-Fi unit, and you get an IDC connector, and you're done.
Yep.
So just make Joe build them for me.
Yeah. Adam's like, Joe, make. So the next thing we need to do is put the jumpers on. 90% of the time, you'll want this jumper on the lower set to turn on termination. Usually that's what you always do. Under some certain weird circumstances, you won't want that terminator on. Like if you've got some other external device that already does bus termination, you may not want that on there. And then you want to do the power on option over here. If I didn't drop the jumper on the floor and it is now lost forever, I will never find it again. The sweeper will find it, and I'll know because it'll go when I sweep it up. So this one goes on the power on right down here.
My favorite noise.
And that's it.
Now this LED header has got 2 negatives and a positive, so you can wire it up either way, right?
Yep. It's designed that way, so you can't screw it up. Any way you plug it in, it will work.
I saw you when you put in your SC. That's because when you put in like your SC30, it has that L bend. Some
Yeah.
L bands are forward and some L bands are backwards, or depending on if you put it upside down or right side up.
That's exactly what my use case was right here.
Thinking ahead.
Now,
The
Gary,
BlueSCSI with a
I'm sorry,
built-in
I cut you
floppy
off.
drive.
What? Oh yeah. The next step would be to put these into the cool little 3D printed cases that we have. So we're going to do that right now because in my 3D printer, I have the brand new 3D case that there it is. Well, sort of. It kind of, you couldn't see it. My printer is in weird printer camera mode right now. We've got the new 3D case for the DB25 that Javier designed and sent to me 10 minutes before we went live. So we get to test that live on stream too. So stand by.
And I appreciate Javier's 3D modeling because I'm not a 3D modeler. My cases are functional and ugly.
Hey,
I really like the new DB25 case for the I've got the big one, but it's really nicely slaps together.
Well, like this Joel Crane potato pie case that I made that I printed, it didn't quite work right with the version 2 because it was made for version 1, and my way to modify it was not to change the files, was to like physically hack it.
That works too. I have a beta
works.
of the potato pie one for V2, but he moved to Finland, so he's gonna.
Oh,
I actually had printed a lot of the V1 ones that have the wide thingy for this shell, and it just has this little lip that held the V1 in there, like in a little hole. I just deleted those little bridges, and the V2 fits right in. The
Nice.
screw pattern even matches up.
Nice.
One screw.
Now, the MAC address that shows up with the Wi-Fi emulation, the data port emulation, is that Potato Pie's MAC address for data port, or is...
Nope. It's just one. Actually, we changed it. So the Pico, each Pico has a random number or like a unique number in the chip. So we generate a MAC address for each individual one individually when you turn it on. So if you had multiple on your Wi-Fi network, it would work.
Oh, that's awesome.
Javier, shall we test it?
yeah. Well, yeah. Let's try it because I don't. Still beta, guys. Still beta.
Oh, that part right there just snapped right off. So we're gonna have
Oh
to
crap! So that.
I think the triangles are a little too wide.
Well, I make them a little bit tighter, so as you can see, they're not. Oh no, the end ones. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the nubs that snap into the ends
Nothing,
here.
yeah.
I think they're a little too deep because
Yeah,
they have to
yeah.
splay out farther to clear. that.
Okay. Okay.
So stand by.
Oh,
I'll see if I
yeah.
can make this work. Here's what we'll do. We're going to go to here, and we're going to just modify it.
Sure, and don't worry too much. Yeah, cut it.
We're going to just
Yeah.
take that little nub off there
Okay.
because we know that is a problem. We'll come back to that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should. Someone said we should submit a BlueSCSI picture to Unify so it has the correct picture in the drop down.
That'd be cool. That is super awesome.
I have Unify equipment too, so
And slides right together.
nice.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. So the geometry, Javier, of the inset of the little. What is it focusing? Is it focusing on this?
Yeah, I can see.
So the geometry of the wiggle of
Mhm.
the zigzag. Focus on the right thing, you feck.
Okay.
That geometry
Yeah.
right there is perfect. It is absolutely dead on, smack on perfect.
Oh, okay, good.
It's the little triangles at the front are just a tiny bit too deep.
Too
They
deep,
need
and
to be
they
just
force
barely
themselves.
wider
Okay.
than the actual slide. Because if they're too wide, as you can see, it'll crack apart.
Yeah, I'll fix it. Yep, no problem.
So we'll deal with that. Let's test the other fitment. So we'll
Yeah.
test by putting this in here like this.
Retrotech asked if we'll get touchscreen on the BlueSCSI next, and I mean, actually probably.
That would be cool.
Ooh, that'd be really neat.
We have some cool new things coming after VCF.
Cool. So the next thing we need to deal with is the outer dimension here, Javier, looks really good.
Yeah.
Problems there. this nub is still too far forward in that direction.
Oh God. Okay, got it.
Just it needs to go backwards that way, maybe
I did.
a tenth to 2/10, a tenth to a fifth of an
Okay.
inch,
No worries.
or not an inch, a millimeter. I can solve that in the short term by doing this.
Careful with your
Don't cut
cut
yourself.
your hand.
fingers. Yeah, don't cut yourself.
Always cut towards your buddy, not your body. So that goes underneath there, and then that slides in there perfectly.
Okay.
And so let's make sure that this clears here.
Yeah.
Aha. So here's a problem. You see
There's
that?
another problem. Yeah, yeah.
So the lid's going to have to be a little bit higher to clear that somehow.
You don't you have it on backwards?
Yeah,
I
you're
have
putting
on
it
backwards.
sideways.
Never mind. I'm an idiot.
Still wrong.
Okay.
It's fine.
You got me for a minute.
Yeah, but it needs, you got a clearance problem right there.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
So it does need to go up.
The DV25.
Yeah. No, I
Like-
got it. I got it. Yeah, I know what's happening. Yeah.
Maybe 2/10 of a millimeter.
Yeah.
Not much.
Not much. Yep.
Focus, you feck! What do you focus? This camera, it's like I'm going to focus on everything that is not important. I hate this.
Okay. Oh
So-
my God. Let me see the USB connector.
If I can
the
get
other
it
side?
together here. So
There.
it has to go,
Oh,
Towards
it
the
has to
front?
go farther. Oh,
yeah, it needs to go that way.
What do you think? Oh,
And-
it needs to be thick. Oh, okay. I got it. Okay.
Focus.
Good,
Why
good.
is it not focusing?
No worries.
There we go.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got you.
And if we go to actually plug it in, I'm worried that the bottom edge here is also a problem. But that's a problem because then it can't clear,
Yeah. Yep.
right? So it's possible you can remove this entire piece,
Yeah. I'm
make this
thinking
whole
about
width
that.
slightly less wide, and put a little bit of a rail here and a rail there.
Right.
So you've got multiple, but it's a complete opening,
Yeah.
right? If I try to actually, can I plug this in? Not really. I can't really do it on camera. So if we try to plug that in, as it stands, it's not going to clear anything. It's just going to.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. I got you. Okay.
The
Yeah, I
SD
think
card
To get out of
needs
it.
to go towards the back a little bit more as well.
Okay.
Live iteration. You're watching us work on it live, folks.
We'll do it live.
Backstreet's back. All right. Asks. Any right angle DB25 options? You could always get a kit and put a right angle or a straight through DB25, but I don't think anyone stocks the straight through.
I used to take version 1s and put a female header on them so I could shove them straight into logic boards. That was fun.
Another thing, Javier, you're going to want to do.
Yep.
I think that these nubs are a tenth of a millimeter too short.
So pull them up.
Pull them up like a tenth of a mil.
Okay.
Because if you look, here, I'll get this put in here. It's a little tight.
Well, okay. Do me a favor. When you put it, put it in like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but look, it wiggles.
In my hairspring keyboard.
And when I push down on the back of it,
Uh-huh.
it's backward at an angle like this.
Oh.
So it needs to go up a little bit so that it's level.
Well, you saw that little thing that is at the back. I put it in for you see next to your finger. Well, at the end of the, if you take it out, you see that I have a little notch coming
right
out.
here?
No, on the other side, on the back part. Yeah, there should be a notch on the inside, like a little thing for.
Oh yeah,
tuning
yeah,
out.
yeah. Right in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's not
supposed
that's
to
not the
hold it.
problem. That's not the problem. It's that
Okay.
so if I squeeze here, it
Yeah.
can only go up so far basically when it's
But
in all
that
the way,
thing should be
which is fine, which holds it in. But
containing it.
when I squeeze here, it goes down a little bit,
Okay.
which
Okay.
means the circles on the back side here need to go up that way a tenth or a fifth, like 0.1 or 0.2, just a little bit, just hair, to push
Okay,
up
you
on the back of this.
Like I use fractions with millimeters. It's hilarious.
Well, like 100 micrometers.
Speak to me in millimeters, man.
Yeah. See, it just requires that tiny little bit of adjustment to put upward pressure on it, so that when you angle this in, it's just there. It's in. Yeah. Of course, this whole thing needs to go back that way too. You see that? Like a millimeter.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. While Javier is working on that in the background, I'm going to show how to program the programming of this, which is going to take me a little bit to set up because I've got multiple screens on my screen that I have to like minimize and get out of the way.
So Frederick asked how long did that take to 3D print? Probably because you got P1P at 20 minutes, 25 minutes at the most.
This one took 33 on my printer. I have the Bamboo, which is effectively the same core as the P1P.
Oh yeah, you have or the X1C.
Yeah, I've got the X1C.
Yeah.
The processing data. If you're using something more like a Creality Ender, like one of those standard gantry styles, depending on which printer, I'd say it's going to take 2 to 4 hours to print it at a solid quality.
Right.
That's all going to depend, of course, depender on your Ender. It's going to depend on how well tuned you are with your printer, how good you and your printer communicate, because we know those Enders, they require a lot of, cuddling. How well tweaked and tuned you have it, how well leveled it is. It's also going to depend on your layer thickness and how fast that printer can print at that layer thickness and a whole bunch of other different factors. I typically print these at a layer thickness of 0.2. Sometimes I print them at 0.28 if I want them to print super fast. These test prints were printed at 0.2 and it took 33 minutes. 0.28, my printer says it'll take like 27. So, and that's for a single. Beep 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 beep. Are you angry?
No, I was testing the speaker. I think there's something wrong with the volume knob on this GC.
I need to go to a very special place on my network.
Oh, okay.
V2.
I was worried for a second.
Yeah, no, that not that place. There we go. So here it is. Here's the thing. We're gonna do this. So it's kind of hard to see, but this is my screen. And what we have here, if you look at the lower right, you can see me. There's our Pico, our BlueSCSI, and you take a standard micro SD or micro USB. Data cable. Make sure it's a data cable. Don't confuse yourself and plug in a power only cable and then think your BlueSCSI is broken when it's all of these companies are shipping crappy cables. Now, if this is blank, it has nothing all in. All you have to do is plug it in, and the Pico will automatically be in flash mode. If it is not blank, there's a tiny little reset button or boot select button on there. You have to press down to plug in. So we plug that in there, like so. You see it light up, and it's like, ah! Now, if you look in the lower left here, you'll see the Pico showed up right here. Yep, there it is. So if I take the firmware file, which is downloadable on from BlueSCSI.com and the GitHub and the wikis and all that stuff, I take that file, copy it, and paste it to the to the Pico. Paste. It'll flash. It'll disappear from Windows. Hey, look, everybody can see all my Windows stuff. And then, that's it. It's done. It's flashed. That's it. That's all there is to it. In the future, if you want to update this, you do the same procedure. You just hold the button down when you plug it in, which will put it in flash mode. Copy, paste, done.
Flash.
That's it. That's all there is to it. So the first two of you who are on my website right now, who bought one of these in the last week, I built it for you. There it is. So let's do this one. We take it. We plug it in. Lights up. Says, hey, I'm ready to go. I go over here. I copy and paste it. Stand by. I need to minimize a whole bunch of windows so I can show it again. Because I want to actually show it proper. Here we go. Right screen.
Frederick, if you buy it from an authorized seller, they'll always have it flash for you.
Yeah, it'll be pre-flashed for you. You don't have to worry about it.
Even if it's a kit.
Copy. Paste.
But if for some reason, something happens and whatever, it didn't flash, or you wanted the newest update, or you wanted to try the new Wi-Fi beta, all you'd have to do is what Joe just did.
Yep. Hold the button in, plug it in, copy, paste, done. So much easier than the previous way. Not that. Now, Eric did a lot of excellent work. I have to give you a lot of credit, Eric, for making the old ones relatively easy to do.
Yeah, it started out really hard, and then it got a little better, and then it got better. But it's still hard. There's still a lot of
Picos are insanely easier to do, though.
Yep.
So that's it. That's all how you do it. Now, to all of my why can you see the top of why can you see the top of it? To all of my wonderful people who watch my show or watch my channel a lot, you'll remember this guy, the Pumpkin Tosh. I got it working. Woohoo! You know what I did?
Nope.
Turned it on and it just started behaving itself. I don't know. So this is a Pico that I have flashed with the beta Wi-Fi firmware. And we're going to plug it in and see what happens. We're going to do that. We're going to do it real quick on this to show it working on an actual physical real Mac. And then I'm going to hook up my LC2 and then we can do the same thing, but like 100,000 times slower. It'll be fun. So here's the SE30. It's plugged in right here. I need the special firmware here that I have on this card. Not the firmware, the special file that tells it to be in Wi-Fi mode. Right there. Instructions are on the GitHub doodle to tell you how to do it.
Yep. While you're booting, Frederick asks, can you just stick this in the Mac and treat it like a regular SCSI hard drive?
Yep.
And the answer is yes. Or a CD-ROM drive, or a network card, or
all of the above. All of them. Now, my question is right now, because I haven't really played around with it, Eric, will the BlueSCSI, when it's done with the Wi-Fi firmware, support both Wi-Fi and CDs and hard drives all at the same time?
Yep. It all works at the same time.
Because the beta doesn't like one of my image files that I try to use. I'll be getting with you on that. I'll probably have to get you a copy of the image file. It's probably the image file is broken.
It might be.
Cool. Now here we are. This is Mac OS, or System 7.1, because 7.1 is probably the best one to run on the SE30. It's nice and fast. And I have Open Transport 1.3 installed, as the instructions tell us to do. I have the Dynaport driver, the SCSI Link driver installed, as the instructions tell us exactly how to do. I'm not going to go through all that right now because we're still in beta and we're still working out details. But we're going to go to Mac TCP ping, and we're going to ping, I don't know, Google, like 8888. Do I get responses? Success. You can't see it, but it's pinging. Cool.
You're online.
I am online with an SE30. Isn't that insanity? That's insane! I love it.
I don't know if you saw, but JCS added support for Apple Talk over Wi-Fi now. So you can mount your Apple Talk shares over Wi-Fi.
That is awesome. I want to print to my old printer. So you take this and mount it to there, and you put your iMac over here, and it's like on the network, and you're printing to this old printer through the SE30 over Wi-Fi. Ah! Yeah. Here's the coolest thing I wanted to show. So, this is a web browser. This is iCab 2.99, whatever. And on this machine, it's insanely slow. It'll load. You just use drag managers. Complain. Yeah, whatever. It's probably because it's 7.1 and it doesn't.
Can BlueSCSI emulate a Blu-ray drive? If there's a SCSI Blu-ray drive and someone gives it to me, yes.
Joe, you can print your shipping labels from the SE30 now. So here we are on the SE30 on a web browser. So let's go to our favorite Macintosh-friendly website, FrogFind. Connecting to frogfind.com.
It really gives you the experience of.
Oh my freaking god!
The frog! It's the frog! It's Steve's frog. Ah! Do you have any idea how freaking cool that is?
Shut up!
It's
and
like I
take
can
my
just go
money.
surf the net. I wonder if my website will work. Well, it's HTTPS, so it won't. But Leap to JCM
You know what I think is cool is that I can take
dash
this little thingy and I make it into a CD-ROM drive.
Yep. Yep.
And you can use a little app on your Mac to switch CDs. So if you want to boot into Mac OS 8 or something, you switch it and hit reboot.
Yeah.
Hey, look! I found my website. You guys can't really see it very well because the cameras aren't over there, but
We can see it.
well, it's not really. You can just barely kind of see
Oh
it.
yeah.
You can surf the
could- you know, I
information
could do the
superhighway.
thing and do it this way.
You can get on IRC and chat with people.
I still have Urkel on my SE.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh,
I
Yes.
used Urkel
yes.
so much
You
back in
can
the day.
view my website. You
oh,
can view jcm-run.com
I need it.
from an SE30.
Can you order a BlueSCSI from your BlueSCSI on your SE30?
Yeah, let's find out.
Let's do that.
You might get some SSL errors with the Stripe callback, the
Yeah, it's
credit card
gonna be-
processing callbacks.
That's all it shows when I get to this store.
No Apple Pay on the BlueSCSI?
And
So it doesn't work
There's-
perfectly, but oh my gosh, look at that!
there's Bluetooth on there too, so we could I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Here's one thing I wanted to show. This is because I'm like a hyper nerd and I know how to do like servers and stuff. This is a thing that I've done on my own internal network to help me get files to my old computers. And now that we have this Wi-Fi capability, getting files to old Macs is incredibly simple. So I can just go to my own internal web server. You know, if I only put one slash instead of two. Not files.com. That is not what I wanted. Just
Okay.
files. Stop. Stop.
.com.
Stop. Thank you.
Just don't go to the chicky bow wow.
Yeah, no. Not that would load. Ooh, 8-bit porn. Yes. Just files/files, which is my internal server. It's slow, but it's an SE30, so it's going to gonna be slow. Look.
Damn.
Yep, that's my internal server. So, you know, I can just like scroll on down here and go to like my old Xfer folder, which has my stuff in it for old computers.
I want it all, and I want it now.
And like, hey, look, I can just get stuff.
Ask Jeeves.
Look, I'm
I'll
booting
do
a
this,
Power
but
Mac
that's a shield
4400 from a BlueSCSI.
Look, I have a Macintosh
Is that
folder.
nice?
I can go to the Macintosh folder
Damn.
and get stuff.
I need that. I
Wow.
don't need that on my 4400 though.
Look at that. That is insane. So did they make SCSI cards for 486 motherboards? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Any old PCI or whatever PCI or ISA SCSI card. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
They've been around forever.
I mean, yeah, if you get any computer in the 80s and 90s, probably had a SCSI card, at least third party built for it. So
Yeah.
The trick, I think Cat's trying to imply that maybe we can use the BlueSCSI for Wi-Fi for those machines.
Oh, so the
issue
Dynaport,
there, yeah.
yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna say the Dynaport SCSI driver is only for Mac and Atari ST. So those two we should be able to get online. Other
If
ones,
somebody wants to, I don't know, take those original 68K drivers and I don't know, figure out how they function and write a an Intel driver for it for Windows, and then watch it fall over because there's 80,000 different versions of Windows, and they all have different driver frameworks. Go right ahead.
Yeah,
have fun with that.
If someone who is familiar with like DOS networking or something like that and wants to talk about how this works and how the driver works, we know quite a bit about how it works internally. So if you want to build something, we can help.
You poor old slow thing. It's okay. It's okay, computer. It's like, it's not happy. It's like, I'm only 16 megahertz. What do you expect? It's just, it's grumpy. It's grumpy. This is the SE. This has nothing to do with the BlueSCSI. This is the SE not liking having this much load put on it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's good.
I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it's totally gone. It's gone now. It's stuck.
It's beta.
But Tom, what are you doing?
Over
what is this?
He hacked a server.
I got your face on the computer over the Wi-Fi's.
That is awesome.
Hey Joe, I sent you the files, by the way.
Ooh, updated files for printing. Ooh,
yep.
What's this?
Look,
let's do it.
Let's
do the thing.
I already cut it a little bit so it doesn't break. I already make it shorter. I make this really big. Let's see what happened over here. I don't know if it's gonna hold, but
yeah, we'll see
what happens.
Oh, and you made that little area right there thicker too, so that it doesn't. Yep. Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
This part.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's do the thing. Stand by. Javier sent me some files, so let's go grab those files from the website of Doodle. Again, thank you all for watching tonight while we're in a little bit of a lull period. I appreciate it. Remember to hit the like button. We got 24 people watching, and how many likes we got? We've got 27 likes. We have more likes than viewers. Yeah. Yes, I win. I win all of the things. So let's go get Javier's files here. We're going to download that one and download that one. And then we get to show you the cool software that we use. So this is for the Bamboo printer. And we take these files and we do import. We go to downloads, date modified. These are the most recent ones. These two right here. As a matter of fact, just to ensure that I don't screw this up, I'm going to delete all of those old ones and re-download them.
Yeah, please.
Good luck, guys. It's in 1 million pieces right now.
What, the Kanga?
Yep.
Oh, no. What are you doing? We need to
It is not going well at the moment.
Uh-oh.
Oops. Cool. There we go. Those are separated by a nice margin, and they're on there. They're on the bed. And so what I like to do is I like to make sure that anything that's got a hard edge on it, a super hard edge, I print with a brim, a very small brim. You guys can't really see what I'm doing here, but we can kind of like do this. I like to put a brim on it because that helps it stay stuck to the bed. We slice the plate, and it's saying it's going to take 33 minutes and 22 seconds to print. You can see the little brim around the edge there. So we hit print plate. We tell it we want it in blue PLA. We hit
Fair
send.
enough.
We wait. We wait. We wait. And it goes to the printer. Ooh! I have to hold on. I need to pause that. I forgot to clean the print bed. Stand by. Pause. I forgot to take the stuff off. Oh no! I broke the printer.
There's a warning. It says Joe is in the printer.
Yeah.
The printing has been paused.
So Eric, the Pico BlueSCSI has had CD emulation for more than a week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Printing was paused because the front cover or tool head fell off. Yeah. Yeah, really?
Okay.
I spent almost the whole day Sunday getting that CD-ROM server to work, so I can get a CD-ROM onto my Color Classic, which ended up being a game that needed VGA resolution anyway, so it didn't work out.
Go.
I could have just put the ISO on the BlueSCSI.
Yeah.
So
Go.
nice.
But you wouldn't have had as much fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
That old
there it
toy.
goes.
The worst thing I had with getting the CD to work was just finding bad ISOs.
BlueSCSI, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
there's tons of bad ISOs. On the wiki, I try to
Oh, yeah.
put all the good ones I can find on there, so direct people there.
I think that's actually where I found the link I got from.
Awesome.
Everyone on the wiki I've booted from, so.
I tried one that was something 922 Ultimate something, and when I booted on the 4400, it said this model is not supported. So it booted, but it didn't like this power map.
Right. Yeah, there's still other issues that could come into play, but it's at least a bootable volume. There's a lot of bad toast strips out there because in one version of toast, like the default was like HFS volume, so it's not even a CD, it's just a volume that kind of looks like a CD, but it's not.
Yeah, you can burn a CD from that using toast, but good luck using it to boot as.
You can't do any. Yeah, nothing else works. Yeah. Yep. Cool.
And I have an OS9 CD I found after the fact, but I didn't know where it was that day, so that's why I went ahead and did this. I found the 9.1 CD.
So what are you working on, Mr. Tom?
I am blindly clicking around the Color Classic.
That sounds like fun.
I was here for the BlueSCSI tutorial. I got the BlueSCSI built. I don't have an easy way to test it right now, so I will have to wait. Then I was going to read the news, the 60k.news on my Pocket PC, but it's not formatted right for the Pocket PC, so I need to complain to Action Retro about that. So now I'm clicking around the Color Classic.
So Eric's Edge asked if I got everything from Mac GUI. No, I got the CDs, and or I don't know, but they're from 2015.
Retro Techie, no.
And he knew they were from 2015. That they say they're from 2015. So sent him an email, a nice email, say, oh, it's from 2015, blah blah blah. And they said, yeah, too bad. So.
Okay.
Hello.
You were talking about how JCM got Apple Talk to work over Wi-Fi. That's a recent addition, right?
Yep.
Nice.
And there probably are some caveats on like network setup and other things like that, because it just kind of takes a packet and turns it into like a multicast. So like if you don't allow multicast on your network, then that won't work, and other things like that. So there are caveats, and we'll document all that. But
so, what's the space? There's that AirTalk. Those AirTalk dongles. That's one from the MLA made last year. I think those use multicast too. And I know that had some weirdness with the Eero setup I was using.
Yeah, that's different. It uses local talk over UDP, but that's not what we're using. We're actually just broadcasting the actual raw local talk as broadcast. So it'll work with any real Mac. You don't need that UDP bridge or anything like that, and it'll work like in an emulator and other things like that. So
nice.
Yeah, don't need to buy those things anymore.
You are
my little Intel 100 and something gig SSD appears to have just died.
Oh no! Whatever will you do?
Use this other weird brand SSD in its place.
Yep.
These are just yanks from machines that are getting tossed. This one looks like it has liquid damage on it. It's probably why.
I need to download that's a special file of doodle, a special thing of doodle. Stand by. I need to go to my downloads and find the special BlueSCSI Pico setup thing of doodle.
What I found in a broken 7500. Say, it's a SATA card.
Interesting.
Is that one of those special SATA cards that has been changed to work?
I'm not talking about that, but look, it's a SIG, SIIG.
Hmm.
SIG. It was in a Mac, so I don't know how it works or.
Well, they back in the day they did sell SATA cards at the end of those
Yeah.
lives.
I will try it out, but not on this 4400 because the 4400 is weird.
Right. So
Loading
let's
OS 9.1 on it right now.
working on this guy. Oops. I have to make.
Oh, I also found this. This is pretty cool. It's a Orange Micro FireWire and USB. It's supposed to work with OS 9, according to what I read.
FireWire and USB.
On one PCI card, yeah. It was sold as a Mac card. Orange Micro used to make printer interfaces for the Apple II. It's kind of weird to see something this modern from them.
Orange Micro had been around for a long time. Doing a little modification to my DB25 because I forgot to do it before. When we get these DB25 connectors, they sometimes have the little hex nuts in them, which foul against the plug on the Mac, so you got to take them out. Some of them I get have them in there, and some don't. It just depends on which vendor I get them from, whoever has it cheaper at that particular month. So I'll fix this. Alrighty. Plug this into the LC2.
Does anybody know if a Farallon Ethernet card will just work in OS 9, or do I have to get drivers?
I do not have that information.
I will find out shortly. I think it should.
Look at my wonderful garbage VGA signal. Look at it, Anakin. Look at how beautiful it is. Look at all that interference. Isn't it great?
I like how it's stretched out.
Yeah. It's
like a parallax or something.
It's the way I have it set up. I have my VGA set kind of, how can we put it, universal to work with anything I throw at it. So I just leave it 16:9 and deal with it being stretched.
Yeah. I had to do some fiddling to get composite stuff to show up 4x3.
Ooh, what's this? It's stuff. Let's set up Mac TCP since we're running 608 on this. Cool, look at that. So we take this. I believe we just put this in here, right?
Yeah, just drop it in the system folder. There's no extensions or control panels, so you just drop it in.
There is, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. Restart.
Do the my Mac has weird sound effects when you click stuff.
Yes, like this.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the ones generated by the module.
Oh, like oh! You mean ones like this?
Yes.
Cool. We'll go back to this. So if we go to, I really don't have a control panel set up on this. This 608 is dead simple. It has nothing on it. So
Just
then
go in the folder and open the control panel directly from there.
Well, yeah, I know that. I need to install Danaport now, which I believe would be this one. And of course, it's like, you don't have anything installed.
No, yeah, the SMI on that is, I created with shrink wrap 3.5, and I didn't realize it didn't work with 6. So I'll do another SMI that works in 6.
That's fine.
It's been like 900 years getting the Asante, the Ether, whatever it's Ether SC or whatever. It's equivalent of the
I
Danaport.
think this
It
version.
took me 900 years to get that
Yeah,
driver from the internet onto my SE because just there was, what was it, a .cpt file, whatever, Compact Pro or something.
Mhm.
And then it opened up and it was an SEA, and then you open that up and it was an SIT, and then you open that up and then it was finally it was just a disk copy image, and then you could mount it. It's like 6 steps.
Load image file. Can you load this?
No, you won't be able to. That's for writing. Is drop disk on there? I can't see your picture very well.
Yeah, it's here. Yeah,
Just drop it on top of that.
I have a really old
Yeah, I'm not
drop disk, but it's not actually on it. It's just a
If
short
y'all
cut.
aren't surprised, I'm not an old school Mac guy. I'm not that.
Do the disk copy 4 to drop disk. The DC4 to drop disk.
This one.
Yep. I think that'll work.
I noticed on my 4400 at BlueSCSI, if it's a CD, it'll
Maybe.
boot no matter what because it's the only thing on the SCSI device, on the SCSI bus.
I don't think this one will work.
No.
Unknown
Okay, what is
OS error.
Oh, try shrink wrap 2.1. What did I can't remember. I mean I did it on my Mac Plus just with this image. I can't remember what I used though. Drag on top.
Which one? Just this one?
Nope. The 4 or the 6.
Just drop it on it.
Yeah. Register. Has your company paid?
Yes, in 1998.
It's just like, thanks.
So
It's working. Yes.
that's the TTL adapter or whatever, right?
Dang it.
I don't know what it did.
The TTL adapter.
No, that's
oh,
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
I ordered one of those TTL RGB to HDMI's, so I can play around with putting SE video out to a HDMI.
There we go.
Yay!
The registration is what messed it up at the beginning.
Well, Garth
Yo.
said this wouldn't work, but it works. So, is Garth in the chat? Because you're wrong.
What does Garth know?
I don't know. He apparently knows about SSDs and 4400s and what doesn't work.
Sure.
Just continue should be, or yeah, default should be good.
That's really
It might proceed.
let's see, reducing.
What computer is this again?
This is an LC2,
Oh yeah.
so
Okay.
it's incredibly slow. I don't know if it's actually doing anything right now. The installer seems to still be running, as it's highlighted.
Thinks it's 1956.
The SE30, it went a lot faster.
Oh, your mouse still moves. What is? Oh. Oh yeah.
The installer. Okay.
Quick shrink wrap, not the installer. Oh well. You can't quit shrink wrap without cleaning the installer, so that's fine.
All right, let's see if
Stay-
this thing is happy now.
It'll stay mounted even though shrink
Yeah,
wrap's
yeah.
gone, right? Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Now we're in the state the Mac likes.
It is System 6. It's a System 6 is a kind of specialty.
That's what I grew up on.
Install.
Hey, look at that.
Yay!
Okay, that's good to know. I'll write in the instructions if you're on System 6, use shrink wrap 2.1 to mount. And make sure you quit shrink wrap. It's good to watch other people do this because I just know what to do, so I don't
Yeah,
think about
you're
it.
just like click, 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 click. Yeah. JCS! Hi, JCS! Hi, you.
Talking about you.
It's the man, the myth, the legend.
We can give him a link if he wants to chat
Would
about his
JCS
awesome code.
like to join our little thing? I don't know how to get a hold of this mysterious JCS, but
If he says yes, I'll send him a link.
sounds good. Welcome to Mickey Mac, Mackie Toes, Toastios. I don't know.
That makes sense.
It's me, right? It's just me. This is Joe.
It's just Joe. But I just took the modem out of this machine.
So in theory, we're set. In theory, if I go here, because that's already been programmed for it's already got the settings for my Wi-Fi. If I go into here and launch this, do it.
Did you set up Mac TCP on this computer yet?
Oh, that's right. You have to do the thing. This isn't open transport. Yeah.
Do the thing.
Yeah. I told you exactly what.
So let's go here. Go here. That's this. Yeah.
Ethernet. Oops. Cancel. Cancel.
Oh, dynamically. It's just
Ethernet.
Go.
I don't know if that works or not. We'll just do it.
Joe, can you hear me?
Yes.
You're on local talk.
What am I doing? I want to.
There you go.
He's trying to do old school networking.
Now just enter in the manually and then your regular subnet masks and router address and all that fun stuff.
Card also lit up.
Welcome to the Macintosh, where you don't have to press a special key to make your numeric keypad work. It just always works.
That's
what if
handy.
That was the sound that it made. Good Lord.
What?
It just, I plugged it in just to test if I got a chime, and it went, ah!
Oh, good.
Joe, I
Check
got your
your phone.
router address. I'm gonna hack you.
Go right ahead. If you can get through my crazy crazy network, you have fun. And then we hit OK with all that. And
I
then
feel
we
like Doc
hit
Brown
this
trying to make
here.
this Ethernet cord reach.
192.168.5.42. Sure. And then we hit close on that.
Yeah. Should be
I
good.
think you should put 169.254.
Ha! No.
Okay.
So in theory, that works. So if I
Think
do this and ping, cannot open resolver.
Your DNS.
Great.
You might have to restart after saying that. I don't know.
Okay.
Or we can try to look at your DNS.
Well, I pointed it to my internal DNS. It may not like it.
Should. DNS hasn't changed in 40, 50 years.
I always have trouble with
Correct.
DNS though on
That's
my
correct.
classic Macs because it
correct.
just doesn't. For whatever reason, won't
I'd
resolve
set
it.
it
So
to
I just
Google,
give
I
it
mean.
a static.
Try the just .local or just local. That's only. I'm just trying to see any differences from what I usually put in.
What do you normally put in there?
Just local. Yeah. That should be good.
Okay.
Try that.
It doesn't seem
Here,
my
let's
Ethernet card.
actually make sure I'm not using 5.42 on something else. Stand by. It's responding. Well, yeah. That won't tell me anything. That's stupid.
Oh, you must restart.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we do need to restart.
Sure. Why not?
Your Flappy Mac score is pretty low there, Tom.
I know. I should get some kind of hack for it.
Yeah,
Kind of
I'll sell you one.
cheater.
I did actually get over 120, and then I just said this is enough, and I don't want to play it again.
I think my highest ever is 19.
You know what the solution to that problem is? Never play the game.
I even bought the limited edition flappy Mac disk.
I did too.
Legend.
Well, let's just see if it'll ping without them.
I didn't buy
No,
anything.
it won't even go. That's nice. You're
No.
dumb. That's stupid.
I'm trying
You're
Googling it.
stupid.
Mac TCP was always garbage.
Yeah, it's always slow.
Use the other one. Use Open Transport.
That would require me to have OS 7 or System 7. OS 7. Look at me.
And more RAM, probably.
Yeah, this is an LC2. We're done. We're testing like bottom of the barrel here.
I have
I think a plus
755
would
on my
actually be
LC2.
better.
My LC2 runs okay on 755.
Yeah, I mean, my test machine was a PowerBook 170 or 160 and a plus, so. And I know JCS's favorite is a plus, so. And a
I mean,
PowerBook 180.
I can just take the card out of this and plug it into that machine and just see if it boots the same OS.
Yeah, that'd work too.
Do I have mode 32 on that? I don't know if I have mode 32 installed because this doesn't need it because I have the updated ROM.
Ooh, that lights up.
See what happens.
I think I answered my own question on the Ethernet card. The Kingston looks like it's going to work. The Farallon
Nope.
didn't appear. I think it needs drivers.
It's grumpy. It's super grumpy.
Super
So
grumpy.
I'm going to try something here. That's the IP address that I have it programmed as. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to ping that. And then I'm going to shut the Mac off and see if it still pings. You can't see I got a ping window going on, so you can't really see it. Because it may just be an IP address conflict here. Oh, yeah. So here's the problem. Stand by. You can, oh my gosh, why is my screen not working? My touch portal application just died, so we'll have to do it the hard way. I need to go to cannot connect. Oh, that's why. Stand by.
What happened?
I'll be back.
The Mac is off, and yet I'm still pinging that IP address. Apparently, .42 is the same IP address that my touch portal iPhone I use here to control OBS is using. And now it's complaining it can't connect because there's an IP address conflict. And now it's fine.
42 is my printer.
Oh, that's so funny. So,
Joe, aren't you a network engineer?
yeah, just a really bad one.
Just kidding.
I play one on TV.
IP conflicts are over.
Oh, no. .42 is the IP address of this computer I'm streaming from.
Oh well.
I just pick stuff at random. Like I could log in and go look at my DHCP list and do all that stuff when I could just like randomly pick a number from 2 to 255 and hope. I just picked the wrong one. 87. Sure, great. 87 works. We'll do that.
Someone was asking about the horrid Mac TCP control panel. There's the one we include is Mac TCP 2.1. It's like an unofficial patch that makes it not that really weird, horrible network selector thing that no one could figure out. You need like a subnet calculator to set up your IP address or something like that.
Oh, I did that on a Mac Plus once. I hate that little bar that you move around. I hate that thing.
Yeah, the 2.1 patch makes it reasonable.
Oh, my ear is itching like crazy. Stop it.
Further news:
Stop.
the Kingston card doesn't
Joe
show up
says stop.
automatically either.
How's the printer going?
It's done. Oh, never mind.
It's printing. What
Where'd you move
what is this garbage? Oh wait, no, it went away. Okay, I swear for a second I had something on the screen about like inserted disk. Okay, so let's try this now. I need to go here and use the IPDR.
It says insert coin.
And we do that. And it was okay with that just immediately. So we'll do this. You're dumb. I hate you. I hate computers. And of course, what's the problem? It's DNS. Because it's always DNS.
Mm. I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, that's my network.
No. Oh, okay. JCS says try trashing the DNR file and reboot.
Okay.
So in the system folder, there's a Mac TCP DNR file.
So we'll just do that, save that, and then we'll trash it and reboot. Got it. Great.
This works.
Well, I'm doing that anyway, so awesome.
Yep.
I don't know what else is in the trash there. Why is it stuffed? It's got random garbage from a previous install of something. Okay.
That's my work stuff. I guess I should empty the trash.
Oh, it's the trash of the Pico W.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So it's
fine.
all your fault. I blame you.
Yeah, it's my fault. Sorry.
Try an Apple branded new PCI Ethernet card. Wonder if it can not work too.
There is also the possibility we're having an issue with this machine because it has an Ethernet card installed.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know how that would work then. Because in Mac TCP or Open Transport, you can select the device, but I don't know how you do that in Mac TCP.
And this may be selecting the Ethernet over the Wi-Fi.
Is there any other control panels that we can look at?
On this machine, no, not really.
Oh.
It's this machine. This operating system is crazy bare.
Well, I guess.
There's nothing in there.
Oh, there's
network. I don't know.
Oh.
That's
there you go.
There we
go.
go.
Alternative would be the right one.
There we go.
Slot 6. Yeah.
That might help.
Cool.
Now let's try Mac TCP again, restart, and then ping.
It's got all the settings. It's set to that. That's all still set.
Oh, I was just never mind. That network was just Apple Talks setup stuff. So that's what JCS says.
Remember when we used to have to reboot on every settings change? Wasn't it great?
When you were just in those settings, I thought I saw EtherTalk and EtherTalk A, which would be alternative. Wouldn't that have been the one to choose?
Maybe.
Did
try it next.
Did it?
Yeah, it did, but it went by. I wasn't looking at the screen until the very last second, and then I thought I saw an alternate choice inside TCP setup.
Inside Mac TCP, you mean? In here?
Yeah, Mac TCP. Right there. Yeah. Well,
no. EtherTalk is.
Yeah, that's different. Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought it said Ethernet A.
Wait,
that's a good sign.
Yeah, the same physical address.
Yeah, because it's finding a conflict, so that means it's talking to your network.
But there's nothing on .80.
Just pick another number, 99 or something. Or like.
But it says there's two physical addresses. Are there?
Like, oh my God! It chimed.
What was that?
Stand by. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just take the Ethernet card out of the LC and eliminate variables. We're gonna start there. How's that sound?
Yeah.
We're gonna shut this down.
Good plan.
But it's good to know that if someone else is setting it up, that if there's an Ethernet card.
I mean, if they have an Ethernet card, they kind of sort of don't need the Wi-Fi, but you know, whatever. I mean, they have reasons they might have both, but unplug just in case. I was using this as a web server for a short period of time. It was great. It actually worked. It worked great. I found that the best web server to use on a Mac of version 6 or a system 6 or 7 is the Microsoft personal internet server. It just works. It will run for hours and hours and hours and not a problem. Use anything else, it crashes constantly. Crashes the machine.
Plug it back in, Joe.
You were waiting for me to do that.
I was.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I get distracted a lot. Ding. Boop. Let's see what do. What doing? Ah! You know, like the birds on the internet that all listen to each other on the internet because their bird parents, play them TikToks, and so they all learn the same things from TikTok. So they all say, "What doing?" Mwah! Anyway, I'm not weird. I am totally and completely normal, as evidenced by this little video clip I'm going to show you. Totally normal.
And here I was just contacting Colin, like, I'm sorry, I may have just killed the Kanga. And he was like, what'd you do to it? Thankfully, it chimed. We are safe. I am not going to die.
Anger. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Let's go back here. Ethernet. So that changed back. Okay. So let's go back to control panels. And go here and see what it says. And go back to that.
Yeah, though that's just for the Apple Talk connection, but still,
Well,
it doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Either way. Could the Wi-Fi in the Pico be used as a backdoor to your main computer? I don't know. What do you mean by backdoor? I mean, you could communicate with
It's all set correctly.
the Mac, such as FTP or other things, but
Let's change the IP address again. We'll restart again for the 100,000th time. Keep in mind, everybody, this isn't the Pico. This is the Mac OS software being dumb.
yeah, the Pico's connected to the network. Well, I mean, that is some, or we could look at the log file quick and just make sure that there's it's connected.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the exact same config I was using on the SC30, and it worked over there. I literally unplugged it and moved it, so nothing should be changed.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, just... You're dumb. Stop being dumb.
I mean, all I was testing on was System 6, so it does work. I don't know what's going on here.
For all I know, there's some stupid requirement that this machine doesn't have a patch or a system enabler or some junk, because again, this is like 608 only. Like there's no control panels installed. There's no extension. It's empty. Like there's nothing. Well, there's like a couple things installed. It's just like
System
that's
update.
it.
Isn't that 7.1 stuff?
I don't know.
I wonder if that's to allow the LC to boot 608.
What is this? That's part of
Oh.
the thing to do. Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
Well, we know it's just it's a Mac OS software issue.
Yeah.
So great,
if you
it
want
works.
to spend more time on it, I would just say grab the Open Retro SCSI 608 image, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we know it works, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yay! Joe says yay. We like it. Now I can't see my screen to shut the machine down. Stand by. I'm looking at OBS like over here so I can see the monitor. There we go. Yay! Cool. So let's check.
Where'd Javier go?
What? Where? What?
Where's Javier?
Javier took off for a minute. He's like in the background, but he's not actually like sitting in his room. I can see him in the back. I can see his
Okay, I thought he was just too
room.
cool.
He
Yeah,
just kind of took off for a minute.
I thought he just left without saying goodbye to us.
No, he said I have to go for a minute. I'll be back. He told us.
Okay.
What am I doing?
I thought that was
Yeah,
the voice in my head.
I was looking at where that's from. That is. It's almost there.
Ooh,
Almost done.
SimCity.
SimCity.
SimCity
What? Where, what?
2000.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's going to run on this or not, but we'll try.
Oh, it will.
On a Color Classic, it should.
Well, it's a Mystic also, so.
Oh yeah, it'll run.
It should work. It runs on slower stuff than that.
I remember when SimCity 3000 came out, I was running like an AMD K62 or something, and I think the requirements were a bit higher than that.
Yeah.
And I tried to run like there was a level called Metropolis, which is like this giant city. It did not handle it very well.
No.
Then they upgraded to a
Well, we were running that on like
machines, and it was better.
Pentium 3 900s and stuff was where you'd really start to want to run that game.
And then I remember that stupid like 2010 SimCity game came out where it was like
Run?
play. Like you had to like save it onto like everything had to be saved onto the cloud, and like it was when EA started being very EA like. And I spent a full day playing it, and then my game got corrupted. And I was like, screw this, I'm never playing this game again.
Hey, look! It's done. It's done printing. Let's go grab it, shall we?
Grab it. Oh, that's probably why.
Always clean the plate when you're done, or you'll forget, and you'll print over the junk, and it'll be grumpy. And Javier's not here to like take my criticisms on his design. Where is he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll just call him
reinstalling OS 9.
How's that sound?
What?
Yes, the camera is taped to the glass of the front of my printer because I'm weird like that. Much better. Yeah, there's a couple little niggles with it, but nothing major. Okay. Ah, that goes together much better. Till it gets to the front, and then it gets stuck. Why is it getting stuck? That's why it's getting stuck. That's a little bit of an issue, but it's still doable. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Because we had to put a separation here. Here, I'll make myself big so you can see. Because we had to put a little separation in the actual rail here. This back corner, it tends to get kind of pushed in and catches. You just have to kind of bend it out a little bit. But it slides together. It stays together really nice. So let's go ahead and slide that back out. We will put the BlueSCSI in it.
Mine works.
Goes right in. The nub's right in the middle. Hold it in place. It doesn't move. It doesn't rock inside there. Ooh, we're close. We're really close, guys. Javier's back. Perfect timing, dude.
Yeah. Woohoo!
You got it. It is nearly dead on.
Nearly.
This goes on a lot easier if you put on one side and then kind of turn it on. Because if you try to put them both at the same time, it's going to overstress both sides. But that's just the way it is.
It's smaller though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And you can it's flexible on the top too, so you can kind of bend it out to get it notched in place. But once it's in there, it's fine. If I do it correctly.
Aha.
All right.
I got another subscriber.
It has a tendency to want to rack.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we can fix that. I mean, once it's together, it's together. Aha.
How's the front?
Almost perfect. We have to put a little bit of a clearance notch right here because it doesn't move forward far enough.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
it hits this part right here.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? I think you actually made that same clearance notch in the longboard version to clear the little black part, but that's all it's got to clear, and that should be pretty much dead around.
And I'm looking at the USB connector, and I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to make a hole on.
Yeah, it's gonna have to. The bottom part's gonna have to have a notch out of it as well.
Okay.
On this version, the top is set right behind the lip of that DB25. So.
Yeah, the very first version. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna have to do here as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
If I will while you're working on that design a little bit, I will do good old fashioned Joe hacking of this and see how much we need to clear. We're talking a millimeter. It's not much.
Yeah, most likely.
So we're talking about like just the tiniest amount.
Just the tip.
Cut it out.
Here, we'll just do it.
Just the tip.
Yeah.
So if we take this and we cut that. It's kind of thick to be cutting with this knife, but whatever.
Don't cut yourself.
Too late.
So I do that a lot.
Joe, I'll be back in just a minute. I gotta take a short break.
No worries.
Yeah, I gotta take off myself because evening errands.
Okay, cool. Thanks for stopping by, Zodium, and showing off the Kanga.
Yeah.
No
I look
problem.
forward to seeing updates on that.
I will be very open with them, and I will probably be screaming internally if I break it again. So,
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
Please don't scream. So we're just gonna do this the old-fashioned way, because I want to get it completely closed to see how it fits when it's closed here. Okay. This is still a little thin here, Javier. This one.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know how we're going to fix that because it has to be thicker on the inside.
I can.
Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
the depth of the notch is correct. It's just the
Yeah.
plastic on the other side of the notch. The notch is actually cutting into the profile of the depth of the whole thing.
Would I be able to put a bump in there?
What do you mean a bump?
You know what I mean? Like,
A little tapered.
it's gonna be easier to show you on my screen.
Yeah. Show me on your screen because I'm an idiot.
No, you're not.
So that slides together really easy. And then once you get this back corner is a bit of a problem, this back corner right here, but you just kind of wiggle it and it gets eventually.
Okay, so let me move this up. I'll do this in a little bit. So I'm thinking about putting like a little.
What am I
like
catching?
this?
That's right here. Yeah, because this broke. Screen share or it didn't happen.
I'm sharing my screen. Am I sharing my screen?
Oh,
Yep.
I see what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Just the tiniest little bit of to thicken it out right there on that profile.
exactly. It's gonna be small, but you know, I'm making it too big right now. But yeah, you know what I
I
mean?
follow you.
Something
Yeah.
like this.
So that
So it's thicker in here.
my worry then is that
How to put
the
it in? I
board
know.
how's the board going to clear to get in there?
I know. That's what
It's
I'm
going to
asking.
splay this apart like this,
Yeah.
and then maybe cause problems.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let me think more, because we may not need it to be that. It's actually not very
the entire profile of the V notch can actually not be as big.
It's not too much. It's very little actually,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's enough to cause an issue there.
Yeah, it's like about the width of a single
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, print line.
Yeah.
0.4.
Yeah, I may just.
Yeah. If you
Go
bring
little-
that entire thing outward and
Yeah.
then make on the lid, make the notch not as deep.
Yeah.
I mean, that the width of that notch can be like 0.4, right?
Mhm.
A single print line.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be fine because the thing is it's going to be holding on to it along that entire length. So it
Right.
doesn't need to be as strong as we were trying to make it on the first revision. It
Yeah.
just needs to be good enough, right?
Yep. Okay.
Great is the enemy of good.
Yeah. I'll redo it. No worries.
Yeah. It has some problems going together right there at that point.
Let me see.
Because when these break and you're sliding, when these break in and you slide it, it wants to catch right there
Uh-huh.
where it's thicker. And so it doesn't like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the problem is because that's breaking, then it gets all grumpy.
Okay.
And then this back corner, of course, is a problem, but like once you get it past that, it's fine. Yeah, with that notch cut out, it fits perfectly.
Yeah. Okay.
So the geometry is fine. It's just the strength of those V notches.
Yeah.
And then cutting this entire thing out for the whatever.
Gotcha.
For the USB. I think the whole thing needs to go back towards the back a millimeter or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then down.
Okay.
That's much better.
But still.
It still needs to be towards the back by about a millimeter. Does it make sense?
Yep, it does.
Let's try putting a card in it.
Yeah, please.
I have this one I have printed or colored blue because it has my BlueSCSI test stuff on it.
Mhm.
And it has a little flag on it to make it easy to pull out. But
That's a good idea.
we'll put that in there. And then it sticks out. I think it sticks out far enough that you can grab it. So you can just.
Yeah.
Let's try one without my little flag on it. Yeah, that would be fine. Like you can get that with your fingernails.
Okay.
So that I mean the depth to the side is fine. It needs to go back this way a little bit. And that's mostly just aesthetics. You can either bring it back that way a bit or make it less wide at the front, one or the other.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Just to center it, if that makes sense. That's just aesthetics.
Yeah.
But the function of this V cut, it's too flimsy.
Yeah.
It's still, I mean, now that it's fully together like this, it's not coming apart. This thing is way better than the previous version.
Yeah.
I mean, until I squeezed on it, it came apart. But it doesn't break or anything. So
we're getting there. We're not yet there, but we're getting there.
close.
Mhm.
Now, Eric, do you know why I like Javier to do this stuff?
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing.
Joe,
Yes.
you put screw-in lugs on there. That won't fit in a normal DB25 SCSI port like that, will it?
Oh, these? No.
Yeah.
No, I just haven't taken the lugs out. I get these in bulk with the lugs.
Oh, the
in.
parts. Oh, it comes with
Yeah.
them in there.
So I
Okay.
take the lug when I ship them. I take the lugs out. I put 2 screws to get the little metal plate in there, and I send it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I
Alright.
ship them as kits, I just ship them with the screws and let the end user figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize it shipped with those on there.
So it depends on which ones you get. Some of them do, some of you don't. My bulk kit that I like, it's this yellow box back there. That one right there is like half of each type. They're just intermixed. It's whichever one I grab, and it's like, oh, okay, well.
I need to find some some DB25s that have a the back where I can put wires into, on the end
Focus
of a
on the
cable.
right effing thing.
but that also
Focus.
have the lugs, and I can't seem
Focus
to find
on
that
that.
right combo.
This camera is awful. It has no focus capability. Anyway, that nub right there is the coolest feature in my opinion, because it's a compression nub and it holds it
Question: Can I
It's
make
not
it a
coming
little
out.
bit taller?
Can you make the entire thing a little bit
No,
taller?
no, just the little knob thingy.
With this?
Yeah,
I
that
figured
one.
it
No, I
out.
think it's perfect.
It's
Yes.
perfect that way. Okay,
Perfect exactly as it is.
okay.
Hey, I got the Ethernet working on the 4400. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured out why it wasn't working because OS9 installer, it sees that it's a 4400 and it says, well, you have a COM slot, so I'm going to put the COM slot Ethernet driver on. But I don't because I modified this using a StarMex PCI riser, so I'd have 3 PCI slots. So I don't have a COM slot anymore. So not having the Ethernet driver, the PCI driver is what was making it not work.
Cool. It's almost there.
Yeah. It auto pulled an IP and everything.
There's also a gap at the bottom here of the bottom part, Javier.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Yeah.
that one right
You
now.
could probably fill that in just with a little, like an I-beam type of thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it would make this edge a little stronger. I
Yeah,
don't
we gotta
think
make sure
it matters that much, but
we gotta make sure that that stays way back so we can fit in
Yeah.
on those Macs that have the lip on the back.
that's right. That's right.
Oh,
that's right.
okay.
It
Do I have
says
one of
would-
those we can test it with? Let's find out.
It says, would you like to set up your computer to use the internet? I think I would.
Yes.
Do you guys have an idea of which one of those Macs is a good one to test that on?
I forget which ones they are.
Because there's a high likelihood I have one that I can just do the thing.
Yeah. Well, Bruce always mentions it when we're talking about cases, and now I can't remember it.
Well, I'll just go over here and take a look. I will just disappear back into the back. Bye, everybody. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Yeah, here we go.
I think I will
Perfect.
set up
That
my
one.
computer to use the internet. Do I already have an internet account? Yes.
This one right here. Now I have to get out of here. Stand by. I'm very precariously balanced. Got it.
Fall.
Got it. Why do you keep putting me on spotlight layout? Who keeps doing that?
I did it. Sorry.
It is my stream, but you guys are my guests. I mean, do it if you're gonna do that. Do it that way at the very least, so everybody can see you guys. Yeah. This is a 7200, or 7300. So the 70s, the 7300s, and 96s, they're all going to have a similar thing. It has this lip down here. You can't see it. You can't see it.
What's
I can
the
envision it.
FrogFind URL?
It has this right here.
Frogfind.net?
So frogfind.com. So
.com.
this space down here fouls against that. This right here on the bottom
Okay. Uh-huh.
fouls against this plastic.
Oh.
So it doesn't. You can kind of sort of get it in there. So I think that you might want to make it. I don't know how you would do that.
Round edges. Remember the rounding that I'm
If it's
doing?
rounded, it might clear.
Maybe.
But it needs to be rounded on this radius,
Yeah, I do it. Yep.
not this radius.
I got it.
I mean, this radius is cool, but with this V-notch, I don't think you'll be able to round the corners. Will
Let me
you?
see. Hold on to your
You'll
horse.
figure it out. You're Javier for sure. But yeah, it's this profile right here that I'm pointing at. That this bottom edge
Bottom
doesn't
lip.
clear. Yeah.
Mhm. It has to be almost all the way back to the pins.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to plug in because it doesn't have.
Oh well, yeah. I gotta take those off.
I have to take the skis off.
Look.
Not glue
Go.
it on.
Go.
Ooh. Hey, look what Javier did. He rounded the corners.
Ooh. Hey, this isn't
Yeah, it
Tinkercad
will have
anymore.
rounded corners. and
I'm
rounded
not
edges.
sure that that's enough of a round. You might have to recess that whole thing back. That the whole window might need to recess back into the
Oh yeah.
case.
Yeah, this is an old version, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's version 1. Yeah.
But yeah, this is what I'm talking about: rounded edges and rounded
Mhm.
things. So yeah, it will be. But this is beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Dooby. Hey everybody, you get to watch live behind the scenes development of BlueSCSI product updates. Isn't this great?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the screw. That's not. I tried to put that back in. That's no, that's not the right thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yep. Eric is exactly right. Of course
I'm
he is.
old.
Yeah. It really needs on the bottom there, Javier. It's got to be the plastic has got to be cleared all the way to the back of those pins. In order to be able to clear that. And you have my very first one, my prototype, so you should be able to take measurements, figure out how far back that is, and cut it back. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Cool. Sweet. That is awesome. Okay, where are we? Where are we with the stream tonight? We put together some BlueSCSIs. BlueSCSI Assemble. I got the shirt today, by the way, Eric. It came to
Oh, nice.
So we got BlueSCSIs put together. We showed everybody how to put those together, how to flash the BlueSCSIs, how to get them to work with Wi-Fi if the operating system on their Mac behaves itself. Hi, Tom. And where to get the BlueSCSIs. You can go to BlueSCSI.com and go to any of the cool BlueSCSI vendors. Doesn't have to be me. I would love it for it to be me, but there are like 100 of us. 8. There's like 8 of us. But you can pick it up from any one of us. We have a new vendor who is coming on pretty soon to serve Australia again. So that's cool. So less of us in America shipping them to Australia and then getting randomly lost in customs for months and months and months. So that's helpful. I will say anybody who's watching right now who wants to buy a BlueSCSI, but they're in the EU, please pick one of the EU sellers. Only because it makes customs so much easier. I shipped a box to a gentleman in, was it Switzerland? It was Switzerland. And it sat in a warehouse for 6 months and arrived back here in July. I shipped it to him in January. It just sat there.
Well, and isn't there
for no reason?
There's like import fees and stuff too sometimes, I think, right?
Well, sometimes there are.
Yeah, because I shipped one to someone in Paris a while ago, and they got hit by a bunch of
and they get hit with the VAT and import fees. You know, so if you're going to be local, if you're going to buy it from the EU, because then you're not going to have a lot of all those funky taxes. You're still going to have VAT, but that's going to get collected at purchase, so you don't have to worry about that. But the rejection reason on the sticker was there wasn't one selected. They put a rejection sticker on it, didn't check off any of the boxes, and it came back. Why? I don't know why the guy didn't get it. It just sat there, and I had to ship it back out again.
Oh yeah, similar. It was I had one that it made it to the same guy actually. It made it to Paris, and then it got sent back to me, and they were like, "There's no customs forms." Meanwhile, a custom form was like attached to a envelope.
Yeah,
and
on the side of the box.
Yeah, and basically, and of course you can't get a hold of anyone at UPS itself. You have to like angrily post on Twitter and be like, "Hey, this happened." And then eventually, their official reply was, "I don't know. Try again and hope for the best."
When I get customs forms where it's more than just the one sheet label, I'll put them in one of these bags and make it like obvious so you can read it from the outside.
Well, that's how it was.
So they just decided not to read English. Got it.
Right, and the worst part is it made it.
We do not need this language. And then they shipped it back
to Paris, like to the customs.
I'm not going there. Yeah,
and then just back, and it's like, well, that thing just made a long trip for no reason.
That's all to say. All these wonderful horror stories we just gave everybody watching are to say, if you buy a BlueSCSI, please buy it as locally as you possibly can. Not just because it's going to get to you better and it's going to cost you less, but also you're going to be helping your local or relatively local economies and keeping your own country healthy and happy. So do the thing. But there are a lot of us that continue BlueSCSIs. We pretty much all have the V2 now. And some of us, including me, will hopefully by the end of this weekend, because I'm busy sitting here streaming instead of doing my job. I will have the Wi-Fi version of these up on my website so you get them. They're not on there yet because I just haven't done the paperworky, clicky-clacky, typey stuff in the website to do it. If any of you out there have used WordPress with WooCommerce, you understand how much of a headache it is to screw around with that. Yeah. So you understand why I haven't put it up there yet. You want to create a variation. One new variation on one product. Okay, 47 options you got to set. Have fun. Here we are, 4 hours later. Anyway, hi, my name's Joe. I like to complain. But yeah, so that's the whiz bang there. So yep, cool. So that is that's really all I had for streaming tonight. I want to thank everybody for stopping by tonight. I want to thank in particular Javier, who's been working his tail off to get us new designs for these wonderful shortboards. I want to thank Adam of Adam's Apples for just being an awesome friend and hanging out with us. I want to thank Eric Helgeson of the BlueSCSI Project, who has done all of this crazy work in conjunction with JCS, in conjunction with all of us on the sellers to prototype, work through this stuff, and get a super awesome product out there that helps make everybody's Macs work better. And I want to thank Tom, because Tom's just a nice guy. He's a cool friend, and he's fun to have around. I also want to thank RetroTechie, who's in the chat. And give him his little promotion. I have a sticker in you, don't neener. So yeah. Thanks to everybody who stopped by tonight to take a look at our wonderful little stream and all of the stuff that we did tonight. Hopefully this was informative and helped you learn how to put your own BlueSCSIs together, in the first 45 minutes, and then everything else after that you can ignore.
It is me, RetroTechie.
We will be streaming again some point in the next couple of weeks, of course. Some of these awesome friends will be here. And I'll probably also be on Dave's Vintage Apple Techs stream this Sunday. We also have I believe, a Retro Repair Roundup coming up this Sunday. And our guest is going to be Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. He's got a lot of cool PCB projects that he's working on that we want to let everybody know about. So lots of cool stuff going on there. Again, thank you everybody for stopping by. Thanks for everybody in the chat. And remember that before I click this button, 8 bits are all you need.
Yeah.
Bye everybody.
See ya.